political or currency, the complexity, the capital cost of doing it, whether it's the human capital side or just the financial side. You know, how have you thought about global relative to just being a local sharpshooter in the markets here in the U.S.?
Well, I think how we've tried to think about it, going back to 2005 when we actually started our tentacles moving a little bit into the UK area and a little bit into China and India, our thesis was medical products for the population, say, of China and India, where half the world's population lives, seems like a pretty good long-term bet. We weren't, I spent a good part of 10 years in Asia, so I know it pretty well. I wasn't, naive when it comes to the time and effort that it takes to gear up and create a franchise there. Our total capital spend today, less than 10% goes to overseas development or investment, and we've tried to manage that down over time. We find that here in the U.S., particularly in our major markets, we have more orders than we can fill, and certainly full-on capital allocation. So we're not looking to be super aggressive, but I think on the long term, I'm still very, very bullish. We originally thought about tying up in both India and China, and over time it became clear to us that we ought to have our own team over there. So we've done that in China in a very small way. We have a guy that leads it who has a tremendous amount of experience, born in China and done development all over the world. And in India, we have a country head who's first in class with a small team around them. But we view this as a long-term prospect, more in the 5 to 10 year, and the goal ultimately would be, if we could get to critical mass, is to finance these entities with offshore, for example, India through a Singapore entity, and then, I don't know, China's a little bit of a different story. I'm not sure we'll ever scale in China, but that's how we thought about it. And Canada's pretty easy because we manage Canada out of Seattle and Vancouver and out of Boston in the Montreal area. We own assets and have done a little bit of development, so it's not a super difficult area to reach into. But, you know, small market, 10% of the size of the U.S.
Big opportunity. Small market, big opportunity.
Big hockey fans needing a lot of medical products.